Hey guys, this is the second video that I've made in the series. This is regarding the impact wrenches. So I've collected these 12 different sizes and types of impact wrenches. You see there, I have half of them are stubby impact wrenches, and then I have a half-inch impact wrenches. Now look at the top ones. I've kind of put them together in with the highest torque rating to the lowest. So I have an earthquake stubby impact wrench. I think this is about 550 foot-pounds. Then I have an Aircat. This is somewhere around 500 to 600 foot-pounds. Then I have an earthquake central pneumatic. This is a 3/8 inch, and this is about 450 foot-pounds. Cobalt. It's about 450 foot-pounds, I can say. And then I have these smaller ones. One from the Northern Tools, Ironton, and the other one is a Campbell Housfeld. You must have seen this is a butterfly impact wrench. It's a smaller one. 1/4 of an inch. And now look at the bigger one. Now from the lowest to the highest, I have this Ingersoll Rand, and then I have this Campbell Housefeld. This one is a very interesting one, and mind you, I have opened up each one of these impact wrenches and I've seen how the hammers are and what's the design. I just do it for my hobby and I just like it. Then we have these two Ingersoll Rand. Now they look identical, but they're not. One of them is a classic Ingersoll Rand 231C. One of them is 231H, and usually you'll see this particular impact wrench with a bigger anvil. So I've replaced the anvil from the other impact wrench here, this one, and I swapped the anvil because I like the design of this tool, and I wanted to see how both of them are internally designed, and then it just worked perfectly fine. It's much lighter now, and it's almost the same power as 231C. I think it's slightly less. And then we have a Chicago pneumatic. This is a composite. This is very lightweight, very lightweight. This beast is about 800 foot-pounds. That's the maximum torque that the maximum torque tool that I have. So this is my collection, and I'm going to be talking about how these perform on my Hyundai Sonata. Just wanted to give you an idea of, when you're shopping around and you have so many options here and there, what you should consider. Like, should you consider the smaller ones or the bigger ones? If you have a small house, a small compressor, which one would be better sound wise, which is higher, which is low, or maybe just an overall all-rounder. So I'll try to give you a little bit of idea on that, and that's just my perspective. If you go strictly by the specs, you might find differences, but then I'll just give you my perspective. So let's go ahead. So that was a very short demo of how each one of these tools performed on a very simple setup. I was running 90 psi of a 25-foot hose, running on a 20-gallon compressor. It was a 1/4 inch hose, so it definitely has some drops in terms of the psi. However, my favorites, the two of them that surprised me, were CL151200AJ from Campbell Housefeld. This tool is not manufactured anymore. I reached out to the company and they said they don't make this tool anymore, but you must still find it online in Amazon. It was really cheap, performed really well. It seems to be very strong, heavy and powerful tool, and was the Kobalt. And I wasn't really expecting much from a stubby blue impact wrench, but it performed really well. And the obvious choice, my choices if you ask me, were the Chicago Pneumatic 7788, 900 foot-pounds. That's a lot. There's absolutely no sound. It's a composite and it works amazingly well. In terms of the stubby impact wrenches, my favorites were the Earthquake XT and the 1055TH from Aircat. These two are very lightweight, they perform equally well, and they have quite a good torque rating. The blue 1/2 inch stubby from Kobalt really surprised me. It was on the louder side, but it performed really well. I did not feel that it was struggling to open up the lug nuts, so it was really powerful. The 1/2 inch Ingersoll Rand 231s don't need any introduction. These are heavy duty tools. They will last forever and they're very well made. Now I like the 231 HA2 with a smaller anvil slightly more than the 231C, simply because it has a better trigger, but that's just my choice. Now I was a bit surprised with the Central Pneumatic EQ38A, which is a 3/8 inch drive and a smaller twin hammer impact wrench with 300 foot-pounds of torque. I was expecting that it will easily open up the lug nuts, tighten that 80 foot-pounds, but that didn't happen. But I still want to give it a second chance. Thanks for watching and thanks for being my guest at the Honeyman's Cave.